So hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hello stream.
Hi.
Welcome to our first value stream for 2016. We are all here and we have Angus online from the United States. All the way. There he is. Hopefully the sound level is fine. We will know in a minute. Today we will be discussing actors, the concept of actors and events. Actually the concept of historical actors and events through playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now what do we mean exactly by that? Is that history and historians, especially in the past, used to focus too much on the concept of a single event or a single person, and how this person or this event affected history and the process of history. Gradually, historians have also switched to a more society-based perspective, but still, especially the more public history, is focused too much on specific persons, on the actions of specific people, and what happened on specific events. However, archaeology, on the other hand, was always a bit more focused on society-based analysis, because we cannot really see all these actors and all these events specifically on the ground.
Yep.
And as such, all the analysis that has been going on through time for archaeology has been concerned with the processes of people and of societies, especially after the post-processual archaeology was introduced.
You mean with agent-based modeling and computer analysis and stuff? Yeah.
Yes. Even if we know to a certain extent that specific persons or specific events have a huge impact on history and on the process of history, it's still very important to understand the importance of societies and the processes that are going on within societies. However, today we are going to see to what extent, we're going to discuss to what extent these persons and these events or these actors can actually impact history, and how is that perceived through popular media such as video games. So basically our debate today will be between actors and between agents and the process of history and how history is affected by that. Now everybody has wondered, what is my role in life? This question, this debate comes very close to the existential question of, does my life matter? And in that sense we are gonna question whether the lives or the actions of specific people mattered in the end, and to what extent, and how much focus should we pay on our research to these specific events or these specific people. How is that connected to video games? Now, with video games are a platform which is very good to understand specific agency, because in games it's all about the actions of the players. So when you play, and your actions affect the entire game usually. Nowadays there are some other concepts of games where the notion of agency is more limited, but to the largest extent we know and we have seen that your actions as a player is what drives the story, is what keeps the story going. And even more specifically in Assassin's Creed games, this thing becomes even more interesting, because you actually interact with history, you go to the past and you interact with historical persons, historical agents, you affect events of the past in order to change history or to sustain history as we know it. We can even Assassin's Creed has been described as being a historical tourist going around and
historical tourist?
Yeah.
That's nice.
You know, like revisiting the past, taking snapshots of events from bygone eras. Kind of cool.
Yeah. So today we wonder what's Assassin's Creed view on agency, on the actions of the person. And we will do that by looking through Assassin's Creed Syndicate specific historical figures such as Marx or Darwin and whatnot, and we will see how the game thinks these specific people have affected history and how we also can affect history as agents. Now, our dear Crime here will introduce us.
Maybe Angus has to say something about this as well. I mean, he knows a lot about this stuff.
No, continue on, people. Okay. You're doing fine.
just wondering if you're still there.
As I said already in the chat, I haven't had my morning coffee yet, so I don't really feel like an agent.
Take your time.
So, Crime, give us a little bit of info on the premise of Assassin's Creed.
The premise of Assassin's Creed, yeah. So this is, of course.
Oh my God! Side note: the cat on the chroma key screen is like a ghost cat. It is amazing.
Is there a cat on the chroma key screen?
Yeah, there he is. There she is.
Oh, nice.
It's like Alice in Wonderland.
That looks amazing.
Nice. Right there.
She's just like swimming in the Thames.
Swimming in the channel.
Hey, that cat's just synchronizing.
Kitty. Seriously?
You think you're flying?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on about the agency
Awesome.
of someone who's not
See,
a cat.
the agency of the cat affects this
entire. Yes, exactly. Well, so the Assassin's Creed series, of course, the premise is that there are two groups in the game, which are the Assassins, of course, and the Knights Templar. And the whole game, or actually all the games, evolve around this ancient rivalry between the two groups. And usually you play as a member of the Assassins in the game. Although sometimes you are captured by a modern day company which is called Abstergo, which is actually connected to the Knights Templar, and they are trying to use you and your abilities. Sorry?
Just kidding. No spoilers.
Oh, no spoilers. No, but this is something which is quite well known, I think.
Yeah, you start the first game out as being captured, huh?
Yeah, you start the first game with being captured by Abstergo.
That was weird.
And then... so you start in, I believe, in 2012, so in modern times, and then you are captured, and you have to use this time traveling machinery, and you go back into time to solve quests for this company, which is later on you find out connected to the Knights Templar, and you have to find these relics. I don't really know how they are called again. The
Pieces of Eden.
Pieces of Eden, yes. And you know this better, of course, because you've been playing this for 24 hours a day, mostly.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as Bloodborne, but it's been. I've played a lot.
You've played, yeah, exactly. So that's sort of the premise of the game. So in each and every game you play, Assassin's Creed game, you play a different character in history in different times. But it all evolves around this ancient rivalry between the Assassins and the Knights Templar. I think.
So, yeah, Vincent. So, Syndicate is 18th century?
Syndicate is
19th 19th century. Right before the switch to 20th century.
So
late 1800s.
It's the era of industrialization, or the late era of industrialization, and that's what you can see pretty well what we're watching at the moment, right?
Hence the very industrial and also steampunky layout. And you can even see.
You mean the original steampunk?
Well, exactly. It's as you
Before
can even see
cool,
on my outfit and stuff.
Before it was cool. These are the hipster steampunk people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes. So yeah, I think we're gonna do our first piece
as
of
you can see, we're
playthrough.
Did you already say it was in London? I didn't catch that.
Yes, it's Victoria era London, which is cool.
Right.
So
in general, but a lot of the actors that are in are like quite influential historical characters that we know well from our school books in various subjects such as science, medicine, all kinds of things were pretty hip and happening at the time, and we'll be meeting some of them. Obviously there's been a lot of discussion in blogs, videos, books already about the Assassin's Creed series, and often about how it depicts history. So I guess this will be another perspective.
Could you tell us a little bit about who else has done stuff on Assassin's Creed?
Well, blog-wise, obviously Play the Past has featured Assassin's Creed, as well as First Person Scholar. Tara Copplestone, who's been with us on a stream before on the topic of authenticity with other Assassin's Creed games.
Yep.
She's also done extensive
It was
research
Unity,
into
right?
the series. At the time we did Unity and Black Flag in that one. Yeah. But there's been a number of books. Some of them have been reviewed as well on First Person Scholar and elsewhere. YouTube-wise, we've recently discovered a guy who's doing more historically themed streams, who the channel's called History Respawn, and he's also taken an interest in Syndicate, obviously, just because there's so many aspects of history that sort of are in the entire game. So whether it's dress, neighborhoods, architecture, even dialect and accents, as well as historical characters, and so on. So there's just so much to discover that we wanted to join the pool. Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Let's jump up this tower. I mean, we're just precariously dangling here for 10 minutes already.
I can't even put up the link in myself. I'm the moderator here.
Oh, you're not the moderator on the sub.
I guess.
Alright,
Angus is. Okay.
yeah, just for the heck of it, I guess, then for Angus's satisfaction, I'll do a little leap.
Jump off! Jump off!
Fine. So...
I remember when Assassin's Creed was first announced, and they were doing this live trailer in front of the audience, and you know, at some point he was just climbing up this big old tower somewhere in Jerusalem, I think, and the whole audience was like, what the hell is he doing over there? And they're like, shall I jump off? And everybody was like, yeah, let's see some blood, let's see some blood. And then this happened, you know, you just boom.
Yeah,
just
so there's a GTA functionality in it as well, just quickly showing. So this is the setting we're in. Victorian London,
Where are we in London right now? What high street are we crashing through?
We're not in the city. We're actually in Westminster.
That's a city. Yeah.
That's the city.
Well, part of it. It's called. There's this section called City of London, so it confused me. Anyway,
all of it's London.
what we're going to do is we're gonna replay a mission that I've already done.
Yeah, because you have fully
obviously
completed the
he's
game.
like 99.999%
If you see my progress tracker, it's pretty much done. So I've got the mission is ready here. It's called Freedom of the Press. And
Start it because it's
you
super
start basically with a visit to Mr. Bell, Sir Alexander Graham Bell.
Yes, Alexander Graham Bell.
And you're basically visiting him to have a device that you have in your possession repaired. And
Who's this Mr. Bell?
well,
I think we will find out
yeah.
soon, right?
Oh, cliffhangers. I always like those with Assassin's Creed.
Everybody
point,
knows.
right?
Everybody knows who he is, obviously.
Yeah.
Everybody who's Dutch knows him because we all use his last name as a verb.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty
for
sure like most countries will learn something about the man who invented the telephone.
So he's the man who
Yeah,
invented the telephone.
that's true. But
See
it's
now?
kind of funny that only in Dutch he's bellen.
Bellen,
Yeah.
which is calling.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So here we go. I've got the subtitles on, So
Where is the matter? I have been intercepting nothing but poppycock propaganda about soothing syrup and whatnot. No, I swear.
can really not turn out behind it.
Alec, I beg your pardon. These are friends of mine. Evie Fry and her brother, Jake.
I love these
So we're seeing here the two protagonists, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're twins, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I have something of a favor to ask you.
Not this guy.
no.
Not him, but the other.
Yeah,
The
the Fry
very
twins, Jacob and Evie.
English-looking ones.
And you know, in a nice twist for this series, you can play as either of them. You can play as either a woman or a man, which is a first time for Assassin's Creed.
And they have both their
After a bit
specialities
of
as
backlash
well.
last year with the whole female body model that was harder to sculpt, and then they decided, hey, let's just go for it, twins, which is I think a very cool addition to this game.
Yeah, the fact that you can switch between both means that you can build them differently according to their own specializations. He's a bit more brute and brawly, and she's a bit stealthier, sneakier, which means that they both have their traits.
And also,
I think it really shines through in the interactions between them in the cutscenes mostly, because in the end you can build them almost the same, right? They're more or less play the same. But you know, especially in these cutscenes like these, you can see a very nice difference in
Yeah, they
character
have-
right there.
they
These
have
are
very
definitely
different
two very different
characters.
agents that have their own way of doing things.
and they have their different sort of chapter, like end of the chapter quests as well, or missions. So they do different things. And Jacob in general is more like muscles before brains, and he kind of tends to wreak mayhem sometimes.
Yeah,
And
he's
she kind of ends up fixing his problems.
he's not very subtle. Let's pay attention that we don't interrupt the dialogue too much for the viewer.
A phonetic telegraph system that does not convey dots and dashes. The telephone, of course. Nice.
Yeah, so what are we gonna be doing
You
here?
could just call it a telephone.
So now we know.
Yeah,
So actually, Evie suggested the word telephone. That's interesting.
yeah.
It's this kind of subtle things that in the end discuss about agents, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
exactly.
one girl who suggested the telephone.
Yeah, like, and a lot of times what happens is that this actual sort of historical character, he goes along to a point and then he's like, okay, now you go ahead and do it. I'll just wait here in the carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing, there's 3 fuses that we're gonna install in transmitters because they have been
Sabotage.
sabotaged by Mr. Bell's competition, and we have just been given an item that has been introduced in Syndicate,
A telephone?
which is not a telephone. It does have a wire, and it's more useful than a telephone when it comes to Assassin's Creed. Basically, before what you had to do is just climb this stuff, and then that's it. Now there's a rope launcher, and you just go.
Zip, 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 etc.
Excellent sound
Thank
effects.
you for the
Amazing
sound effects.
sound
yes,
effects,
it is.
right?
Yes.
So-
I feel like I've missed a
That's so
career.
nice.
So,
whenever I'm climbing down a tower, I will have this sound in my head.
Yeah, we should
But
record it. And
so we actually got this thing, this rope launcher. We just got it right now from Mr. Bell himself, right?
yeah, well, basically we found it in a previous sequence, and he
you
fixed
found it.
He fixed it for us.
And he attaches it to the glove thing.
Yeah. And now we're going to zip line from tower to tower, installing fuses.
So whoever hasn't been in London or has been living in an egg for the last century, what building are we climbing?
Well, if I turn around, it might be a bit more
Obvious.
obvious. So there's that.
Hey, I recognize it.
That's the tower known as Big Ben.
Somewhere.
Tower,
Yeah.
of course, named
Is it
after
Big
the big
Bob
clock
or
that
something?
we
Yes,
just
the
held.
Big Bob.
The
Big Bob. That's it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna.
The
Yeah.
Big Bob.
It's very tempting to do fancy stuff on this. Can I do fancy
Well, you
stuff?
go ahead, man. I mean, we have time. We have time for your fancy
Okay,
trickery.
alright. There we go. Fancy assassination.
But look at them, they're so adorable with
I
their
don't give a-
hats and you kill them.
Yes.
You get 20 pounds for
It's
killing.
like you're killing a little beaver.
But you know what I don't understand? Like, if you're an agent of good, why are you killing royal guards?
Because I can do it from a zipline and look awesome. Why would I not do that?
That's a good point.
It's a good point though. So these actually are neutral characters, right? So you can
No,
fight with them,
well,
but they're actually on your minimap. They're
if
like
you land in front
blue
of
instead
them,
of red.
I was just sneaky enough. But if
Yeah.
you land in front of them, they will kick your ass, especially in the beginning of the game.
Because you're not allowed to be in this
You're not
area.
allowed to climb the,
Well,
the
it's-
parliament building.
The map is red, which means restricted zone. So yeah,
Makes
for some
sense.
Exactly.
for some reason.
It feels like
I
totally
think if you try it
new.
nowadays, they will let you climb Big Ben. They will like that. Especially if Ares would do it with his big beard.
Oh yeah,
Naar dat
definitely.
andere pijltje.
No, I think I'll have to.
But what does that say
go
about
down.
the agency of the gods?
Well, not much.
Not
They
much,
don't have much
actually.
agency in the
They have-
story of the world.
No agency at all.
No.
But that
Well,
is not-
I guess I think it's interesting that they make them neutral characters. I mean, so they will kick your ass here because you're not where you're not supposed to be, but they will never ever actively engage you just on the street, so police or
No,
guards.
that's true.
Well,
So that's
no.
it is interesting. So
again,
you know,
unless
there's
you're
a
in
little
a
bit of
red
flavor
zone.
difference with them in contrast to the goons that you will end up be fighting most of the game.
Yeah, but it is the same for all Assassin's Creed, like policemen or officers or patrolling the streets, right? Only in certain areas.
I don't think.
At
I'm
least
not
that's
so
what
what
sure
I.
about,
about
like,
the-
bad
but I think it may be the
neighborhoods
first
where cops
one
are
where there's
just-
actually neutral forces like the police.
Or at least that's how they want to portray it.
Oh, that's a nice view.
It's actually also, I think, one of the first eras that we actually have professional police, just as a side
Yeah.
historical
Yeah, but I
note.
mean, if
before that,
for
all the
instance,
police were just, you know,
in a
volunteers. They were also looking to get a
Just
protection.
climb up with the view a little then.
Look, now we can go back to talk to Bell. Now we've done all his work for him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but how did he install these fuse boxes in the beginning if he's not allowed to be up here? But he just can't replace broken
I think he
fuses?
hired someone else to do it for him.
Ah, maybe.
Could be the case.
Most likely.
But I have another question, which is not entirely related to actors and whatever, but it's just something which came up in. If you climb down like 2 or 3 stories, here, for instance, you see these where you're standing on. You see these creatures, right?
Right.
Which are rain pipes or drains or whatever you call them. I'm always wondering why they are sculpted. Also in churches like the Dom Cathedral in Utrecht, why they are sculpted like creatures with devilish, features in them, like
You mean gargoyles?
gargoyles. Yeah, like
That's what you're looking for.
yeah. I'm
They're-
always
they're,
wondering why they are looking that way.
Man, you look up the Wikipedia page for that before I start saying stupid things, but they're water devils. So, no, and that's of course also what they're doing. They're spouting water off the top of these buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just comes from an ancient belief that places of water is where, spirits and devils and demons live. So that's, I guess, what it is.
But it feels so controversial to have this on like sacred buildings like churches or cathedrals.
Not really, of course, because you need to have an iconic image of the evil that you would be protected from as well. So it's quite common to have depictions of various, say, negative and demon-like
But-
things in.
Yeah, this is, of course, not
religious
a
settings.
cathedral. We're actually climbing the Houses of Parliament here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Which
mean, if
think
we're
are,
talking
I
about
don't
the
know
Dome
date.
Church,
I don't know the date here, but
if you're talking about the Dome Church, it's like really obvious because if you want to talk about, the good, you obviously contrast it to the evil.
Of course.
So on.
But it's so right there in your face.
Yeah, I'm liking that you're going with the steampunk outfit today. Also,
oh yeah,
Well,
pretty
yeah,
nice.
it's just less annoying to look at because the other one, I like it a lot, but it
Out
just
the
glitches out,
spoilers also.
and because it's spoilers.
So
So let's go to Mr. Bell.
yeah, which we basically help him because he is also helping us fix our weapons, right?
Well, yeah.
So what does exactly say about the role of Graham Bell in the
Well,
story?
we should listen, or just not talk through the dialogue with the next one, so we can hear more of his function as an extra
as a
character.
provider of weaponized gadgets to us.
Exactly.
Like Da Vinci.
Like Da Vinci in Assassin's Creed 2, yeah.
Yeah, I have my character max upgraded so I can be like all stealthy, blah blah, which is nice.
So straight from
Yeah.
Wikipedia, Legend of the Gargoyle,
Don't
a French
desynchronize
legend
them.
that sprang up around the time of Saint Romanus in 631 to 641 AD. The former chancellor of the Merovingian king Clotaire, who was made bishop of Rouen, relates how he delivered the country around Rouen from a monster called Gargouille, or Goji. La Gargouille is said to have been the typical dragon with bat-like wings, a long neck, and the ability to breathe fire from its mouth. There are multiple versions of the story, either that Saint Romanus subdued the creature with a crucifix, or he captured the creature with the help of the Rhône volunteer, a condemned man. In each, the monster is led back to Rouen and burned, but its head and neck would not burn due to being tempered by its own fire breath. That was then mounted on the walls of the newly built church to scare off evil spirits and used for protection. So there you go. It's all going back to Rouen.
Alright, in the
one of
meantime,
very
Mr.
finest
Bell
cathedrals
is
of,
doing a story on how he's thanking Evie for her help, etc., and that he's invented a special type of bomb, and that remains technically his main thing is to be our inventor. He gives us new gadgets and stuff like that. We've
Throughout the
had
game.
someone like that in the previous Assassin's Creed, of course. Was in that case was Da Vinci. That gave us the flying, I don't know, what was it, Delta Fly or something like that.
Unity.
In Assassin's Creed 2, actually.
Oh, in 2, yes, of
yeah,
course.
we had Da Vinci.
So yeah. The mission actually goes on where I have to loot components, but
Let's see for a little bit and
yeah, alright, fair enough. I'll quickly get it over with.
Hijack a card, of course, because this is...
It's a long way.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
Where are you going now?
Loot these things. Because loot.
Yeah, he kind of has an
Because,
interesting role in this.
So what have we been
particular
just been
game.
doing for Mr. Bell here?
so basically we had helped
You're
him-
ramming everybody for
Yeah.
Mr. Bell.
I'm supposed to. I that's a trophy I still need. Like destroy 5,000 objects, and I don't know how much I still have to do.
Right, so
Oh
the
my God,
agency of the
that
game is
was-
telling you to destroy industrial era London. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Oh, the cop is shooting at you.
Yeah, well, let him. Oh, you wanna?
Man,
You wanna do
yeah,
this?
exactly. Show some of the near platinum skills, Mr.
Yeah,
Jaromir.
these are like level 2s, we level 10s.
Ah, damn it! I wanted to go for the
A double kill.
course, but I'll just go for finisher. That's also nice.
Yeah, so basically, Alexander Bell in Syndicate, his function is sort of like the tutorial teaching genius inventor boy who is like, hey, have you learned your old gadget? Here's a new gadget. Let's test it out on some poorly thought out, plot mission. That's not really anything.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
poorly thought out, or it's a nice way of, because these are one of the first missions that you're doing, right? So it's kind of nice. In one of the first missions, they're sending you straight off to Big Ben right
That's-
away.
That's true.
So, and of course, I mean, but as an inventor, it's kind of interesting. Of course, Bell is very famous as an inventor, but he in the Assassin's Creed series, he joined such greats as Leonardo da Vinci, and who was again the guy of the main inventor of Unity. I forgot. There's always It's like basically like Q in James Bond. You always have some inventor type of guy that just gives you random stuff.
Just no Aston Martin.
That was the
Not
smoke
in this
bomb.
game, no.
That was a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
I wonder who they'll pick for the new, very secret Assassin's Creed that's incoming in 2 years. You know, they're gonna reportedly go back to ancient Egypt. I wonder who they'll pick as an inventor there.
I was always hoping that they'd go back to like Imperial Japan during the Warring States or something.
Yeah, but they have don't they have one out in Japan in the Chronicles series?
Yeah, but it's not the real one. It's just
It's not the real
side
Assassin's Creed,
story.
not where you get to jump on all sorts of
Yeah.
AG castles and things like that.
Yeah,